Hey friends, welcome to day 56 of QuaranTunes. It's me, Brad, back at it again. Uh, Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me. Got an interesting show for you today. It's an interesting one. It's a topic. There's a topic. It's an interesting topic that is a little heavier. It's not quite QuaranTunes After Dark material, but it's something that I think a lot of us wrestle with, especially in today's day and age. And well, we'll get into it in a minute, but we're gonna do Ryan Adams today, a personal favorite of mine, and his song "My Winding Wheel," which I absolutely love. And today is the perfect day to do this kind of weird topic because of the artist. So let's just dive right in. Ryan Adams, I love the man's music. I dig the sad kind of sweetness of his songs and his beautiful lyrics and his great music. And on the other hand, the dude is kind of a total fucking asshole, right? I mean, if you know anything about the, kind of Me Too kind of allegations that came up against him last year, it's like, well, it's not great, Ryan. Um, So I've been wrestling with that fact, that he's kind of a prick. He's a major prick, a major asshole, most likely. But I mean, also loving his music. And I mean, I pretty much knew he was an asshole. I mean, if you know anything about his career prior, which has been a fascinating career, I mean, he's kind of been like that typical kind of rock star, fuck you kind of attitude, and he's done a lot of just like gotten into fights and just been a prick for like his entire career. So it's not totally surprising to me that he, is allegedly a bad person, right? So yeah, but still, I mean, what a bummer to for that news to break. And as a fan of his, I mean, it was a bummer. And my heart goes out to those women that were potentially affected. Um, Allegedly. I mean, I don't know. I believe him. I mean, I don't know why you'd make that stuff up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. And that's kind of the problem, I think. Well, I don't know if it's a problem. I mean, it is a problem. I don't know if it's the problem. There's a lot of problems, obviously. Maybe these guys should stop fucking around and trying to kind of exert their power over these more vulnerable women. I mean, that just seems like a no-brainer to me, but I guess, what do I know, right? But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of something that I've been trying to reckon with is, my love of the art and then, my not so much love of the artist. And I think that we can apply this to a lot of different artists. Unfortunately, clearly there's one that comes to mind immediately, and this one has been in the hopper for a long time. Michael fucking Jackson. I mean, God, what a fucking icon, a cultural touchstone. I mean, the man's music and dance moves and videos and just personality larger than life, so ingrained in our fucking popular culture. And yet those allegations and the stories coming to light and the documentaries and the just overall strangeness about him, did he do it? I don't know. No, did he do anything with those boys? I don't know. And does it make you a bad person for wanting to listen to his music after you know about this? What do you do? Do you support these people? Do you stop listening to Michael? Do you stop buying his records? I mean, what do you do? I don't know what to do. And it's a problem. It's a problem for a lot of people. I mean, you could just say, done, you're canceled, whatever. But it's hard to escape Michael Jackson. You could escape Ryan Adams. He's so he's so below the radar. You could absolutely go the rest of your life and never hear Ryan Adams' song or anything mentioning him at all. I don't think the same case will be for Michael Jackson. You're going to hear something. You're going to see something. He's just that big, do you cancel him? And, how do you deal with that when he's dead and gone? How do you deal with that legacy? He's not around to defend himself anymore. What do you do with that? We're left to pick up the pieces, and I don't know what to do. I mean, I certainly don't listen to Michael Jackson stuff the same way now, as I used to. I don't know. Probably not even 5 years ago, I was still listening to Michael Jackson fine. Certainly more recent after that latest documentary, it's like, this, I don't know, I don't know what you think. But I tell you, I mean, I love that guy. I love his music. I really love, his entire career, from the Jackson 5 onward. It's great shit. And, he's a weird guy. I don't know. So there's one. And then another big one, fucking John Lennon, right? I mean, here's a guy that, obviously a member of the Beatles, maybe one of the biggest members of the Beatles, writing this beautiful music, standing up as, like this bastion of peace and harmony and trying to promote, kind of unity, right, amongst the world. And also in his private life, total fucking prick, right? Like, his poor first wife, Cynthia, and their son, Julian. I mean, he totally cheated on her, left them for Yoko, potentially, like, physically abusing her. I mean, it's not a good look, Johnny. It's not a good look. And yet, what do? Do you cancel John Lennon? Do you cancel the Beatles when you stand for so much more? I don't know. And you could just run through a list of a lot of fucking popular musicians like that, These people that we hail as like gods on a pedestal, and you dig deeper in their private lives and it's like, well, these people were kind of assholes. So what do? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Everybody has to answer that question on their own terms. And I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, I don't think. You just got to do what you got to do. And I mean, it doesn't just apply to musicians, it applies to actors or just like, regular artists, writers, fucking anyone. It applies to fucking anyone. Do you support these people after, you hear or learn these things? It just depends. I don't know. Everyone has their own way of dealing with it. And I certainly stopped listening to Ryan's music quite a while after those allegations. I couldn't touch it. I couldn't listen to it for a while, months and months. And then late last year, I don't know, I got an itch. For it, and I started re-listening. And, I remember why I like this shit in the first place. Because it's good, it's well written, and it speaks to me. I've been listening to Ryan Adams for like 5 years, and then this comes out, and it's like, God damn it, God damn it. But I've got great associations with his music and his memories, and I went to a Ryan Adams concert, I got this t-shirt, which is awesome, by the way. I love this t-shirt. If you want to read it, I mean, it's right here. I love it. I fucking love it. I mean, this is just a great, I really love the Satan, ridiculous, winging it, at the gym crying. That's a classic. I should check that one off, really. But, I mean, this one right here, only into his first album, that's hilarious because he's so very aware of his audience there. So, taking that as a bridge, we'll move along into the actual music talk, right? I love this album that this record came on, My Winding Wheel. One of my favorite songs, not just of Ryan Adams, but maybe of all. I don't know if it's my favorite Ryan Adams song. There's so many I love. But this came from the album Heartbreaker, which, of course, being a fan, I have. I have the deluxe edition vinyl here. It's like a 4 vinyl set and like bonus tracks, all this shit that I love. And I've spun this quite a bit. It's a great album. It's a great album, guys. Go listen to this if you enjoy this song, be playing this song if you've never done it before. Go check out Heartbreaker. It's a classic. And I think he gets, and it's funny, speaking of the first I'm only into his first album thing. That's kind of what a lot of people do. A lot of people really love that first album of his, and they're like, why isn't the rest of your stuff like this? And I think that's true of a lot of artists. You know, they get this thing like, why don't you just do another one of these albums? Well, you know, people don't want to, I guess. You know, they get tired. We should understand that. We get tired and bored of shit all the time. I know I do. But it's just funny. And this record is a great one, and it's very heavily... I mean, he kind of started more as like an alternative country kind of guy. And that really shows up in this one. It's a little more folky, kind of country tinged, even though it's still pretty alternative. And certainly it was... Everything after this is so much different. Gold is the only thing that even comes close to this kind of music. And that was the album after that. And that was the peak of his commercial, you know, performance. And after that it was downhill, even though he still had some of his best music after that. Love is Hell and Cold Roses. I mean, you can't, it's hard to get better than that. Those are great. But I have a special spot in my heart for Heartbreaker. Definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. Probably top 10, maybe top 5. I just love it. I just love it. Fun fact, apparently, about the naming of the record, Heartbreaker. I guess supposedly he was like on the phone with like a record agent or the record label, I guess, and they were like, you have to pick a name for the goddamn album right now. You have 5 seconds. And supposedly he's like in a room. And if you remember the Mariah Carey album Heartbreaker, apparently there was a Mariah Carey poster on the wall and like a screen airbrushed shirt she had on in this picture, and he looks at it, he's like, Heartbreaker! Which, I mean, it's an aptly titled album for him because, yeah, he's kind of a heartbreaker in terms of his music. Because it's kind of on the sad side, which we all know that I dig. So anyway, I don't know. Another fun fact, apparently Elton John really dug this album as well. He credits it with helping revitalize his career in the new millennium. He listened to it and he's like, holy shit, this is fucking great. So I don't know. I enjoy it. I love Ryan Adams. I love all the shit he's done. I listen to everything, you know. I celebrate the man's entire catalog, even if the man is a total cunt, you know. I don't know. What a dick. I don't know. I still love the man's music. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't like that. It's difficult. I'm dealing with it as well. So, anyway. I say we get to the fucking song. How about you? Okay, here we go. My Winding Wheel. Well, my time let her through. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I wanna see her. Precious little thing with eyes that dance around without their clothes. So buy a pretty dress, wear it out tonight for anyone you think could outdo me. Or better still, be my winding wheel. 'Cause I feel just like a map without a single place to go of interest. And I'm further north and south. If I could shut my mouth, she'd probably like this. So buy a pretty dress, wear it out tonight for anyone you think could outdo me. Or better still, be my winding wheel. Be my winding wheel. the children laugh and sing a song that ushers in a driving rain. And I'm standing in the station like some old record waiting on a train. So buy a pretty dress, wear it out tonight, for anyone you think it out to me. Or better still, be my winding wheel. Be my winding wheel. Be my winding wheel. Ryan Adams' Winding Wheel. My Winding Wheel, I should say. Another fun fact about that song is apparently it's a kind of, it's very Dylan kind of influenced the whole album, and I guess Adams met Dylan at a party one time after the album's release, and I guess Dylan had listened to the song and he was like, what the fuck is a winding wheel? And Ryan Adams had no idea what to say to that because he doesn't know. Must be like a Wonderwall or something, just some bullshit you throw in there, I guess. Anywho, thank you for tuning in today. Hope you came away with something there, whether it's a newfound, something to think about, I think. Lots of interesting things to think about in today's episode. And of course, I always love Ryan Adams, so unless, the man, not so much. The music, yes. Give me the music every day. The man, I can get over to the side there, Ryan. Anyway, if you feel in any way like you need to talk about this thing, if it sparked your interest, shoot me a message. Let's talk about this. Let's rap, y'all. If you have interesting opinions and things, send me a message. Let's talk about it. I'm intrigued in how people deal with this kind of, art versus artist, kind of cancel culture kind of stuff. I'm intrigued, so if not, whatever, I don't care. I mean, whatever, it's fine. Although I am lonely, somebody talk to me, please, come on. Anyway, thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow with something new, something fresh. And, stay gold and keep the fire, y'all. Thanks.